Nosy Nancy's is a true crime podcast that deals with real life situations. If you are sensitive to any of the trigger words, this is not the podcast for you. Listener discretion is advised.
Position I'm in, somewhere between the sending and beginning again. Well, I'm just pretending that it's all just a dream, a little condescending to believing in it. I'm getting the notion that I'm going all in.
Hey, all you nosies. I'm Aliqua.
And I'm Jasmine, and welcome to Nosy Nancy's episode 4.
Yeah, this is a special episode.
It's the fourth one.
Well, that, and also this was originally going to be a listener story episode, but then some shit went down in Austin, Texas. And we do want to just specify, though, or not specify. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. We do want to make sure that people know that this case that we're going to talk about is not related to the other cases that we've been talking about this whole time. This is like a Dateline special, you know?
It has been rolled out. The APD has said that they don't think this guy's involved.
No. Well, and he's completely different. Like, he doesn't leave anybody in the water. He just bludgeons them, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. You'll hear all about it.
I'm interested. Yeah, I'm interested in this because this is it's going to be pretty, interesting, I think.
I think so too.
I don't want to glorify it, you know, but.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I think this is we're doing this different than we have any other episode, so.
Yeah. Should we talk about our weeks, or should we just, say fuck each other and just, get into it?
I want to hear about your week.
Okay. Nothing happened really.
Okay.
Because I'm broke. That happened, rent. I did go out I went out and saw a show last night, so I'm a little hungover.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I did. I went with Trey and Roxy, and you know them, old fans.
Nice.
I almost said old fans. They're my old fans.
They're old fans.
They're old fans. Old friends. They're old friends of mine. It was fine. I woke up this morning though, and I was like, damn, rolling out of bed, like my hair is all crazy and my eyes got big dark. I never took my makeup off. So like I had this I was wearing bright red lipstick because I'm a hoe. And
love it.
I know. It's one of my best
with the lipsticks, know.
Well, it's one of my best personality traits, to be honest. But I woke up and it was like this red smear across my cheek like a fucking war paint.
That's happened to me.
Yeah, I think it's happened. It's happened to obviously I sleep on my right side. I've realized now. But because of that paint there, because of the lipstick, but I didn't realize I had that. I didn't realize I had that on my face until I was driving to get a cup of coffee. And first of all right, it's like driving Miss Lazy, okay? Because I was passing all these healthy people running at fucking 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I
it's hot outside.
Dude, what? Why are they, who is up at that hour exercising?
I don't know. Idiots.
Idiots.
Just idiots.
Well, they're also, I don't have any control of my body when I'm hungover. And I thought I was going to hit this one guy who was running with his shirt off and short pants or short shorts, those biker shorts.
Oh yeah, those like 70s shorts.
Yeah, and I'm like
They're-
fixated on his body while I'm driving, and I almost hit him. But like, would have that been the worst thing? You know, that's how we could have met. That's how our love story could have began.
You could have exchanged numbers right there. That's the
Yeah.
great thing about meeting people by having an quote unquote accident.
Yeah, and then if his leg was broken, he would have to be with me for a while at least, because he couldn't.
Yeah, because he needs somebody to care for him.
Yeah, he couldn't leave. So that could have been the start of a beautiful thing. But instead, I just drove on past him with my lipstick smeared across my face. And then I go through the drive-through at McDonald's, because here's the thing. I'm not going through the line at Starbucks on a Saturday. That's way too crazy.
Yeah.
And these motherfuckers judging me. Yeah, I would probably judge me too. Doesn't matter. I would have been like, this girl crazy. Oh God. What about you? What's your life been like this week?
No, my life's been actually really great. Really incredible. I did have an incident though, midweek. I had decided to pull an all-nighter to try to get stuff done.
Yeah.
And well, like, you know me, you have lived with me.
Yes.
And like, I don't hear or feel anything when I'm sleeping.
No, and what's really crazy about this too is Jasmine. I don't know if she does this anymore, but she used to, because before I moved in with her, we would spend the night and have girl nights. But she would sleep.
It wasn't sexual.
No, it wasn't. Oh no. It could be if you guys join our Patreon. No, I'm just kidding. We don't even have a Patreon. But she would literally sleep on her back like a corpse with her hands crossed.
Yeah.
And her knees up sometimes.
Yeah, I like to move. I like to move my legs around.
And I remember waking up and being like, looking over and being like, is she dead? How am I gonna explain this, But she's like dead ass sleeping. She's a fucking dead ass sleeper.
I can't hear anything.
Mm-mm.
So my coworker and I have a lot of similarities as far as like our constant worrying and anxiety.
Oh yeah.
And we talked about it, and we're very much the same. Like, if I call you and you don't answer, then I'm calling you back like 5 times in a row, and you better answer, send a text or something, because otherwise I'm assuming that you have been in a terrible accident
or kidnapped
and dead.
Yeah.
I pulled the all-nighter. I'm going to bed finally, like the next day at 12, because I was on the phone with you.
Yeah, we were talking about what we were gonna do.
Yeah. And I normally, I'm a morning person, so I wake up super early. Usually around like 5. So I wake up because my dog's barking. And I'm telling him, like, nobody's there. And then I hear a knock at the door, and I sit up and I realize my house is flooded with light. So already I know that I fucked up, because it must be like
daylight.
Right. I was thinking.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like helicopter lights, but got it.
Oh, right. No, thank God, no.
Yeah.
But I go to go answer the door, and it's the sheriff of the town that I live in, saying that my coworker is very worried about me, and she sent him for a welfare check.
Oh my God.
And I thought, like, what the fuck? Because I still haven't seen the time yet. So I'm thinking like I must have slept through the entire day.
Right.
But I go back and I tell the sheriff, like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just tired. And I go back and I look at my phone and it's only like 9:45, 40 minutes late. She called the sheriff on
Oh my
me.
God. Okay, so how many missed calls did you have?
There were several. I had several texts and missed calls.
Because so Todd, the guy that you're in love with, messaged me,
Yeah.
which was very sweet. And he goes, "Hey, I haven't heard from Jasmine, and she usually is texting me at 3:30 in the morning when she wakes up." No, he didn't say that. But he
But I
goes,
do.
he goes, "Hi, Aliqua. I don't know if you know me." And I'm like, "Are you joking?" I know who you are, Todd. Like, that's all I've heard about for the past month. No.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, no, I know who you are." And I was like, "Oh, she's probably asleep." I was like, "She sleeps like a rock." And he's like,
Yeah.
"Well, I'm very worried." It was very sweet because he was very worried.
Sweetheart.
Yeah, but I did call you at least 7 times, I think.
Yeah. I saw, I had a lot of missed shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was severely embarrassing. What happened to the
Persian Prince.
Prince?
I hung out with him last week. And then like okay, we went to the Grand, which is a pool place.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like this hipster pool place. Okay. And
Right.
and like, first of all, I'm terrible at pool. And I was like, I don't want to do this. And then, but I did anyways, because I'm a people pleaser, kind of. We go there, and I mean, I wouldn't go there if he wasn't so fucking hot, because this dude's hot, right? He's a good looking guy. And
Yeah.
he's funny. Well, we ended up not playing because he got like impatient. And then he was like, "Do you want to go to Mueller Park?" And I was like, "At 10:30?" And he's like, "At night?" And he's like, and I'm like, I'm doing this like true crime podcast and people are like dying, this guy is like, "You want to go to the park with me at 10:30
At
at night?"
10:30 at night?
And I'm like, "Yes, I do." I do want to go with you.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. So I don't know. We went to the park and we sat on the bench by this lake, which another red flag. And
Yeah.
it was fine. We like talked, and not like dead set on the Prince of Persia. I'm not dead set on anybody.
Just doing your own thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna just focus on doing my own thing. Just gonna do that. They really have to be something special, I think, in order to swoop me up. I'm such a catch.
It's true.
Yeah.
I think you're a great lady, and you'd make somebody a great little wife someday.
Okay. Well, you have to say that because we're on air and we're doing a podcast together.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, hey, I want to get into this because I'm sure people are sick of hearing about us.
Yeah, I'm telling you all about this man, Raul Meza Jr.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to tell you all about everything that I've been able to conjure up on this man, Raul.
Okay.
Because for the past 50 years, he has been committing crimes and just walking around. I mean, they get him and they let him go. That's what it's a very, very frustrating to hear about. The first crime that he ever committed, I don't know anything about his background. Honestly, I don't give a shit. So, in 1975, Raul committed his first crime. He was 15 years old. After a full day of taking LSD and watching the show Cops, he decided to go to a convenience store down the street armed with a deer rifle. He emptied the register and walked Durley Ramirez, who was the 20-year-old worker to a walk-in freezer in the back room and shot him in the back, left him for dead.
What the fuck? Look, we all know the people I hang around. They all do drugs.
Criminals.
Bunch of criminals. Yeah. And none of them have ever been violent when they've taken drugs, you know? That is crazy.
This kid's 15 years old. And he's been watching cops all day, so he knows what's going to happen, you know?
Yeah. I think that's like, I think that shows that there's like a root issue with it, with like already in his brain. Like there's something.
Yeah. There's something fucked up going on.
Yeah.
Luckily, and I don't know how, but Durley was able to recover from his injuries. He was left with permanent injuries, but he didn't die. And he was able to testify in court against Raul. So he at least survived the attack. For that, this is where it starts getting to pissing me off.
Okay. Well, as if that doesn't piss you off.
As if nothing pisses me off.
Yeah.
Raul was sentenced to 20 years in prison for the crime because he was found guilty, but he only served 5 years.
What the fuck? This is what I'm talking. People go to prison for weed and stay in prison for 20 fucking years for pot. And this motherfucker walks into a goddamn gas station and shoots somebody in their back and gets out in 5 years. Are you joking?
5 years of a 20-year sentence. So
that really clicks my trigger. I just tell you that.
I know. It really pets my peeves because this is a common theme for this man. He's in and out of prison constantly. So while he was still on probation for the robbery, he decided to kidnap, rape, and torture and strangle a little girl named Kendra Page. She was 8 years old and in the 3rd grade.
That is so fucked up.
He was
so fucked up.
He was 21 years old. He nabbed her up while she was riding her bike near her home. I don't know if she was going home from school or something, but it was in Southeast Austin.
I think she was riding to meet a friend,
To meet a friend. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Well, he abducted her, and whenever he ended up killing her, he left her body in a dumpster behind Langford Elementary School. So he just dropped her in the dumpster back behind the school. He ended up surrendering himself to the police 3 days later. So I don't know if just his conscience got the better of him and he decided to turn himself in, or if he just wanted to get there before the heat came down.
What year was that?
That happened in 1982.
So they probably didn't have they definitely didn't have the Entellus where they can check DNA. So DNA wasn't. God damn, though. Yeah. This is so frustrating because it's just it's like with Jeffrey Dahmer. Mm-hmm. Jeffrey Dahmer kept getting arrested and they kept letting him out.
Yeah. And Ted Bundy.
Yeah. And
Ted Bundy escaped from prison 2 or 3 times.
Well, but he escaped. They let Jeffrey Dahmer out.
Yeah, that's true.
They let him out. And that's what they did with this guy, with Raul. They just they let him out for what? Good behavior after 5 years into a 20-year sentence. And then he goes and kills an 8-year-old girl.
Yeah. So for this crime, the crime that he committed against Kendra Page, he was sentenced to 30 years. I did read one news article that said that he was originally sentenced to 46 years, but 30 seems to be the solid. But regardless, he only ended up serving 11 years before being released for good behavior. And that's despite receiving demerits for various infractions that resulted even in 4 years being added onto his sentence.
What the actual fuck, Austin Police Department?
So he was let go despite the non-good behavior because they found a knife in his cell, and then like a few other things happened.
They found a motherfucking knife in this guy's
a knife
cell,
in his cell,
and they were like, well, maybe we'll just let him out again. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
I don't understand. Like, Texas is so, like, all about an eye for an eye because they love the death penalty.
It's true.
So why are they not, if you're not going to give the death penalty to a guy who confessed to raping and murdering an 8-year-old girl, who the fuck are you going to give it to? Is what I want to know.
Well, it's not even like, not only are they not going to give the death penalty for that, but you can get out for good behavior for something like that.
That is insane. And I'm actually not even for the death penalty, to be honest, because obviously our judicial system is like drunk, but like that guy, if anybody should be put to death, it's that motherfucking guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Because he walked out, the state freed him under mandatory supervision. And that's it.
Mandatory supervision.
At the time of his release, which he was released in June of 1993, there was a dude who worked for the Austin American-Statesman, Jerry White. He was the city editor. And he kind of, I guess, wanted to keep an eye on Raul because he had watched hundreds of criminals like disappear from public view after sentencing. And he'd done some research and realized that most criminals who are released end up robbing or raping or killing again.
Well, thank God for this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. And in Texas alone, about 1/3 of convicted rapists are arrested for new crimes within 2 years of release.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
No, because nobody's fucking doing anything.
Well, and rape is like, there's a lot of, especially in the 80s, there was so much victim blaming going on. They're so like, that they don't, it's like, oh, men will be men, or whatever. And it's like, that's boys will be boys. No, fuck that. Like, that is crazy to me.
It's awful.
It is awful. And I would like to think that we have like evolved as a society, but we're still.
No, we haven't.
No, because the people that were around in 1982 or 1993 are still alive. And that mentality is still alive.
Right, exactly. So the only good news, really, aside from him being caught, is that this dude, Jerry White, wrote an article just basically letting people know that Raul killed an 8-year-old girl and he was being released, and there pretty much was nothing that anybody could do to stop him from being released. That article was published 8 days before Raul's release, and it actually resulted in film crews coming to greet him as he walked out of prison.
To greet him? Or to just like
to film film.
Yeah. Okay.
And the crews followed him around for months after his release, which resulted in correction officers having to move him from town to town because the residents and like city officials kept protesting him being there.
Yeah. So I'd be protesting him being there too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like, they were trying to let everybody know. It's one of those, like, if you know your neighbors, then you know how to protect yourself, right?
Yeah.
So that's what they were trying to get out of it anyway, was just,
No, I mean, I'm glad that they were following him with the camera because I
yeah,
mean that not only does that document evidence for future cases, but it also, I mean, it when people are in the public eye, they tend to like not fuck up as much. So, well,
yeah, it's true. Well, I mean, in this case, I don't know.
maybe not for Lindsay Lohan, but for this kind of shit.
Lindsay's doing good though.
She
Lindsay's
is.
doing good.
We're proud of her.
We're so proud of you, Lindsay.
She's doing a lot better, but I'm talking like circa 2003.
Yeah, that's true. That was a rough time.
That was a rough time. It was a rough time for
But
everybody.
everybody comes back, so
Yeah. Yeah. She's doing good.
good for you, Lindsay.
We're going to be canceled by Lindsay Lohan immediately.
Due to the amount of press that Raul was getting, 276 halfway houses that were asked to accept him, only a few even would entertain it. 271 of those halfway houses refused to even have him there.
Ugh.
Due to the press.
Well, I don't really have anything to say on that because like on one hand, like I'm usually like, well, they have to go somewhere, but no, because he shouldn't have been released in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, you're right. Eventually, I guess he kind of did run out of places to go because in August of 1993, the parole division relocated him to his grandparents' farm that's like west of San Antonio. Uvalde, I guess.
Ugh. Great. So he can go kill and torture their farm animals. I bet that's what he did.
Well, later, during his recent confession to the police, he admitted to killing 2 people during his stay in San Antonio.
Oh my God, dude.
And the San Antonio police say that they're still currently investigating whether or not that's true.
Dude, San Antonio's just as bad as Austin, if not worse. So
Yeah.
who knows? I mean, the good thing is that this has all come to light, and the media, as fucked up as the media can be, like it is so important at this time that the media is around because they really do light the fire under local government. So
Yeah, it's true. They put the pressure on.
yeah, yeah.
He didn't even make it a month in San Antonio, by the way. So on August 31st, sheriffs had responded to a call from Raul's grandparents' house and ended up charging him with terroristic threatening and disorderly conduct for bullying his elderly grandparents.
Look here. Okay, and what did they? Just real quick, what did they do? Did they put him back in jail for that?
A judge dismissed the charges, even though it made it into the papers.
Are you joke? Okay, here's the thing: is you're on fucking parole. You can't drink, you can't smoke, you can't have a firearm, but you can make terroristic fucking threats and like abuse your. That is crazy
old people
to me. Yeah. That is nuts. What the fuck? Something has got to change. This is just infuriating. I mean, I can't do anything because I'm not smart enough to like be political,
to make the changes.
But I'm gonna sit here and bitch about it.
I mean, yeah, it's ridiculous
on this podcast. Yeah.
Since it was in the papers, it resulted in over 1,000 signatures on a petition asking for the state to move Raul once again. So the parole boards moved him back to Austin into his mama's house, where he found a job.
How old is he at this time? Is he still in his 20s? Yeah, because it's in 1993, right?
Yeah.
This is still 1993.
1993.
Jesus Christ. So yeah, so this is like a month after he got out.
2 months.
This is 2 months after he got out. All right.
2 months. So a full year goes by now, and he's living with his mom. And I am assuming still working, because that's a condition of his parole.
Oh, heaven forbid he doesn't break that rule.
I know. He gets arrested again for violating the curfew provision and was sent back to prison.
Okay, good.
So from there, it kind of dies down until what happened most recently near the end of May, which was what?
Wait, so he's been in prison this whole time?
Well, he's been in and out.
No, but you said it dies down until May of this year.
Yeah.
So
he's been in and out.
So he just keeps going back and forth?
Going back and forth.
Okay.
His most recent arrest was for the murder of Jesse Fraga, which is actually a retired parole officer that had befriended him like during his time from 1993 on. He was trying to kind of help rehabilitate him.
There's like the real monsters. Honestly, the real monsters are people. Like
are people that you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at you, Lisa.
Well, I'm too late. I'm too lazy. I'm too lazy to do nothing.
I am too. I can't do anything.
God, we're gonna be on a fucking list somewhere
now.
I know. Well, don't worry, because APD won't do shit anyway. So, ooh, you like that? That was a burn.
If you suddenly start getting pulled over every time,
thank God we're not that, like, people don't know that much about our TikTok. I mean, our podcast.
Our TikTok. Okay. So Jesse was 80 years old at the time of his death, and they were roommates.
Damn. So he let him like live with him?
Yeah, they were staying together.
How long were they living together?
It seems to have been a few years. I mean, a couple of years at least. Jeez. The reason that the police got called was Fraga's niece actually had asked the police to do a welfare check because she hadn't heard from her uncle in like over a week.
And he's elderly, right?
He's elderly. He's 80 years old. Ugh. So when the police went to Fraga's home on Campfire Trail, this is a little bit fuzzy to me because I read both that he was found hanging inside of a closet by a belt.
Oh.
Or there was also reports that stated that he was inside of a bathroom. What? But either way, there were like knives and blood all around the house. He was for sure stabbed.
Okay.
The medical examiner said that he died from a puncture wound to the neck and a severed cervical spine.
Oh, God.
So he had been stabbed to death.
This Raul is just a fucking, like, he's just a sociopath. I don't even know. Like, it's people like that who know that they're just pieces of shit and like who know that they're never gonna, like, yeah, because if he's threatening his elderly parents or grandparents, like, they're obviously can't protect themselves as much. My dad's 76 and like he's so frail, like he can't, my dog hits him and he's like, oh, like he almost falls over, you know what I mean? Like there's no way they could have protected themselves from their 21-year-old psychopathic fucking grandson. And same with, that's why people go after children too, because animals, because they can't defend themselves. And that's
exactly.
I mean, like, it's fucked up to be a murderer anyways, but like, it's really fucked up. You're really a piece of shit if you go after like beings that can't protect themselves.
So whenever they went to go do the welfare check, there was a lady on the scene who said that she knew Raul to be Jesse's caregiver. So I don't know if that actually was the case, but that was the story that he or they were telling people. When he was arrested, Raul said that him and Jesse were having a sexual relationship.
What?
That resulted in him getting mad and killing him.
What the fuck? Hold up. I'm sorry. What? I did not see that coming at all.
Yeah.
They were having a sexual relationship?
That's what he told the police.
At 80 years old? I don't
At
think
80
so.
years old? Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's happening at 80.
I don't know. I mean, shit, I'm 38 and I sometimes don't even want to have sex. I want to know more about that, but like, I don't want to know more about that. You know what I mean?
I do too. But they didn't have a whole, like, I saw 2 articles that mentioned it and that was it.
Because
they didn't have a whole lot of tweets.
I mean, he's a rapist, so I want to know if he like.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, if it was like a sexual abuse situation and dude's just fucking crazy.
Yeah. Or if,
that it's consensual.
Right. Or if he, thought maybe if he was like, oh, we're having a sexual relationship, then it's out of passion or whatever. But
yeah,
I hate to say it, but stabbings usually is a passionate
it's true.
crime.
No, that's very true.
Ugh, disgusting. He's just gross.
Yeah, he's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
There was, before he got locked up, there was a 5-day manhunt looking for the person who killed Jesse Fraga. And Raul actually called the police himself. So he turned himself in after Kendra 3 days later.
Right.
So once again, I guess just the guilt was too overwhelming for him. He called the police, got transferred to the homicide division of APD. And he said, "My name is Raul Meza and you're looking for me." And then he confessed to 2 crimes while on the phone.
He did?
Yeah. He confessed to being the one to kill Jesse.
Right.
And then he also admitted to killing a female in 2019. He didn't say the female's name, but he did say that the murder took place on Sarah Drive. And he was able to provide information that was never released to the public about that case. He never mentioned who that lady was. But in 2012, Raul was living next door to a woman named Gloria Lofton.
Okay.
Who ended up being murdered. This is another one that's gonna get you heated.
It already is. If he's living, if they have a convicted killer living next door to a woman who was fucking murdered, look, I know that I just make jewelry. Okay? I know that. I know that I failed math in high school. Okay? I know that I'm not the brightest bulb in the fucking box, but my God, what the fuck? This gets stupider and stupider. Ugh, I'm already having a heart
with this one.
palpitation.
The further you go, it gets stupider and stupider. So
Okay.
Gloria was 66 years old at the time of her death.
Okay.
Um, he Raul didn't mention her by name again, but he did mention the street name, Sarah Drive. Driver lane.
Dude, I need a Xanax for this shit because I have to take another beta blocker. Ugh.
Gloria, she was known as like a severely sweet lady. And she was also known to let people stay with her if they needed help, which is how Raul got to get close to her, I think.
Ugh.
When they found Gloria, she was found in a bedroom naked from the waist down with her shirt pulled over her head. This was
Are you okay? First of all, he's convicted rapist and he's a
yeah,
convicted murderer. And
yeah.
nobody thought to just check and see who lived next door. That's like
This,
that's like police work 101. That's like I'm pretty sure you learned that the first day of fucking being a detective.
well, this was ruled as an undetermined case, baby.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, I don't know why that surprises me because this is Austin Police Department we're talking about. So
Yeah.
it's ruled
So
undetermined. Okay.
undetermined.
All right.
And I also saw one place state, which I don't know how, so I don't know that this is true, that they said natural causes.
Yeah, because I mean, most people die with their fucking shirt over their head and their pants
Yeah.
off. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
That's completely reasonable.
Jesus Christ.
Given the state that she was found in, they did conduct a sexual assault forensic exam during her autopsy, and they pulled DNA that matched Raul's. They found a match in 2020, but they never tried to look for Raul at all.
Yeah, I remember this. I remember reading that part because that was infuriating. And is that because of COVID? Like, why was he not investigate? Like, I know that, okay, I know 2020, I know that people were like doing
Freaking
their
out.
thing. They were freaking out for a lot of reasons, and rightfully so,
Yeah.
because shit needed to get done. But here's the thing, and then like the cops in Austin have been so butthurt that we defunded them in 2020. Like we defund the public school system every fucking year.
Exactly.
And we defunded the Austin Police Department one time and everybody loses their minds and they just stop doing their job. Are you joking? I'm not I'm not trying to be political, but fuck, dude. And then we like refunded them immediately in 2021 with like a $6 million, like I don't know if it was $6 million, but it was in the millions we gave them back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think. I could be wrong about that, but I know it was a lot of money that we refunded them, and this is crazy to me. And also, like, if you have enough money to like run it takes money to run DNA through diagnostics and to find who the person was that committed the crime. So there's money in the budget to find out who he was.
Exactly.
They just decided not to do it because they wanted. I mean, what's the point of that? Were they trying to were they trying to like punish the Austin, the fucking community of Austin? Like, I don't understand that.
Well, they even knew that Raul and Miss Gloria had beef before because they were called out in 2013 to the address on Sarah Drive. And Raul was documented in that report as being somebody who was causing a scene.
So they knew that he did it. They knew that he was a convicted murderer.
Pretty much knew it.
They knew that he was a convicted rapist. They got his DNA from her body.
Yeah.
Oh,
And never looked for him.
And never looked for him. And they said, oh, undetermined death. I cannot, but that is so insane. This is just like, I mean, I know it's nothing like what's happening at Lady Bird Lake, except for the fact that the Austin Police Department just isn't doing shit.
Yeah, I mean, it goes to show how bullshit the fucking police department and the judicial system is.
So infuriating. Oh my god. Go ahead. I guess hang on. Let me go look and see if I have any alcohol in my fucking freezer. No, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Raul is thought to be involved in at least 8 to 10 other cases that have gone cold, or I'm sure been marked as undetermined, despite what I'm sure is plenty of evidence that it was him.
This is okay. I talk a lot. I talk a lot, and people often are like, shut the fuck up because you talk so much. And this has me fucking speechless, bro. I don't know what to say to that. Except I want to move out of the fucking Austin. I want to move out of the state, to be honest.
I mean, you guys aren't safe there, clearly.
No, clearly, in a lot of different ways.
Clearly. The U.S. Marshals came to pick up Raul. When they found him, he was riding his little bicycle down the street with a backpack containing zip ties, duct tape, and rounds of ammo for a .22 caliber gun. And he said he was ready and prepared to kill again before the police picked him up.
Oh my god. That doesn't even, I'm so numb by all this. Like, that doesn't even, doesn't surprise me. What surprises me is that the fucking the marshals fucking picked him up. That's what surprises me.
Yeah, that they even found him. But he's so overcome with guilt all the time.
Yeah.
So, allegedly, that he just calls and turns himself in. So I'm sure they would have never found him or claimed to, have never been able to find him.
Yeah. They would have never even looked for him if he didn't turn himself in.
No, they don't want him. They want to give him back to us, and we don't fucking want him either.
Dude, I know I keep bringing up Jeffrey Dahmer, but like the same shit with Jeffrey Dahmer. If that guy, like, there was cops that went into his apartment, Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment, was like, it smells in here. Yeah, no shit, because there's 3 dead bodies in his fucking apartment.
Yeah.
And you would think that they would know what a dead body smells like, being a fucking police officer. But the Milwaukee police were like, well, I don't know. And
whatever.
And they just walked on, and they were so homophobic. It's because they were homophobic. They were so homophobic that they didn't want to go into his room because they found, like, dirty pictures. So this whole time, like, people were like, oh, Jeffrey Dahmer, he evaded the police because he's so smart. No, the dude was not smart. He was lucky. He was lucky because he was a white guy, and the police in Milwaukee
in a black neighborhood.
Yeah, were dumb as fucking bricks. They were just dumb as bricks. Like, this is exactly what's happening in Austin. It's crazy to me.
He is currently being held on 4 charges, including only one capital murder charge, a felony for an unauthorized use of a vehicle, and 2 undisclosed first-degree felonies. His bond is $1 million. He should not have a bond.
No, he shouldn't have a bond. He shouldn't have a bond. He shouldn't be able to be back on the streets. He should be fried. He should have been fried in 1982. Like this should have never happened. And I don't see how people can look at this case and be like, oh, well, the police are doing the best they can. No, the fuck they aren't, Janice.
No.
Like the root of the issue isn't even the police department. The root of the issue is the judicial system.
Yeah,
And
it's a
and
fucking joke.
it is.
Joke.
It is. It is. It's a joke. All of it's a joke. So he's awaiting trial or what?
Yeah. He's awaiting trial. I don't even think that they have a set date.
No, he'll be in jail for a while before
Yeah.
they even get he probably won't go. I don't even think he may not even have a trial because he confessed. So
That's true. So, but I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends on what they find out on the other 8 to 10 cases that they probably have proof that he was involved in.
this is I know I keep going back to this, but people go to prison and spend their entire lives in prison over a drug charge. And this motherfucker who just brutalized a child,
an
innocent baby, got fucking out in 5 years. Are you kidding me?
He has constantly and consistently proven that he does not give a fuck about human life. They keep having him. He keeps getting off for good fucking behavior.
No.
Even though he's getting demerits and shit.
No, our judicial system has consistently shown us that they don't give a fuck about human life.
Yeah.
Because they keep letting his ass out.
Yeah. You're right.
I cannot believe that. I mean, I know this was a special episode, but like maybe we can touch back on his case like throughout the seasons, because this is it's gonna be a developing story.
Yeah, it's definitely in development. There's obviously probably plenty more that's gonna surface later on.
Yeah,
so.
and I wanted to like kind of be more about the victims and less about him because he's a piece of shit. But there's not much on the victims really right now. So
yeah,
we just kind of decided to do a special on just the whole thing. And I didn't look it up because I knew that you were going to be reading it. And honestly, like I'm shooketh. I am shooketh. I know that like no city is perfect, and I know that no judicial system is perfect. I know no government's perfect. I know nobody is perfect, but like this is getting ridiculous. Yeah, it really is.
It's sad. It's very sad. Not a whole lot of jokes.
I feel bad for the victims' families. I feel bad for the victims. I don't feel bad for Raul. He can go fucking sit on a cactus for all I give a shit.
He can lick all up and down this shaft.
Yep. I hope he fucking rots. So anyways, I think it's time to do the missing persons. This week's missing persons is named Matthew Wesley Palafox. He's 29 years old. He's 5'9". He's approximately 145 pounds. He's brown hair, hazel eyes. He's white. He's half white and half Latino. His last time anyone heard from him was December 31st, 2021, and he has been known to have been hanging around on 6th Street.
Damn.
Yeah, the last address for him was in Pflugerville. So I don't have any phone numbers for him. There isn't a case number, but we did post this picture on our Instagram, and we did post it on our Facebook group. And I think you can call the APD if he does look familiar to you. If you haven't followed us on Instagram, you can follow us on Instagram.
It's Nosy Nancy's.
And if you want to join our Facebook group, you can do that.
It's Nosy Nancy's podcast. Send the request. I won't think that you're somebody else and block you.
Oh my God. That poor girl. Look,
I know. I'm so sorry.
um,
It was my fault.
yeah, I'll spank her for you.
Yeah.
You can also follow us on Twitter if you want, but we're not doing nothing on there.
Only Samantha's on there.
Yeah.
That's all that needs to be on there.
Our sex bot. Ooh.
Our sex bot Samantha.
She's keeping it sexy. Ooh, okay, I don't like that. So we are going to do at one point in our lifetime. We are going to do listener stories. I already have one. We have one.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I have two technically, but I have one sent in.
Is the Pokemon Go?
No. No. No, I was going to tell Renee gave me one, and then Courtney sent me. But Courtney sent it to our email. So let's just have a little round. I know, she's so precious.
Yeah.
But you can email us your listener stories at nosynancies@gmail.com. And I want to thank everybody who shared it. I want to thank everybody who's listened to it. This is really important to us because obviously shit is just whack in Austin and people need to know about it. Yeah, it's fucked up. So
it's fucked up. We have a TikTok now too.
Oh yeah, we do. It's Nosy Nancy's podcast.
So go on over there and do stuff over there.
Go over there and look at stuff.
Look at our stuff.
Look at our stuff. Yeah, that'd be cool. Be little peep show.
When are we gonna have your uncle on, who has a lot of complaints about?
You know what? I don't know, because I do think he probably listened to the first episode and was, what the fuck is this? And probably never listened again.
Doesn't want to listen again.
Yeah. He's probably like, I didn't raise her to be like that. Well, you didn't raise me at all, Uncle Ben. So how about that? Anyways, we love you guys. Thanks so much for listening. We're going to be going back to our regular
format.
Yeah, our regular format next week.
What?
What? My brain is just so fucking blown by this episode is all. I know. Like, this is so crazy to me. Like, I don't know, man.
Well, we hope you stay tuned for next week.
Christopher White and Martin Gutierrez. Yeah. Okay, that's gonna be a gut-wrenching one, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Lots to cover about that. Lots to cover in next week's episode. All right.
Stay tuned.
Ciao.
C'est la vie, my friend.